I'm a third year animation student attending Sheffield Hallam University. And I don't tend to really do vlog reviews because I'm often afraid of saying something stupid or saying something incorrect. I tend to like to plan out and write my reviews before I express them. But I'm going to take a risk and I'm going to state my apology in advance. So sorry if I do say something ridiculous or wrong. Wrong in the sense of factually incorrect. So yeah, and I don't also tend to review mainstream films, not in a pretentious hipster kind of way. It's because I don't like to repeat what someone else has said, and that's more possible when you review something that everyone else is reviewing at the same time. So I tend to review things that are either forgotten or lesser known, less spoken about. But I'm gonna take the risk. And once again, I apologise in advance if I do say something that you've heard before. I'm very sorry. It's coincidental. I'm not trying to imitate someone else's opinion or statement. This is entirely personal, my own reaction. And I think I should broaden out. I should start reviewing other films. Take that risk. Okay, and so I watched Wreck-It Ralph the other week with my friend Rachel, who was the person that got me into making video reviews in the first place, and we both really enjoyed it. We saw it at the Sheffield Odeon, and it wasn't a bad screening. There wasn't many people there, surprisingly. There was quite a lot of seats, and we had trouble trying to pick one. And the film itself, though, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I'll first explain what it's about. So there's this character called Ralph, who is a bad guy in a video game called Fix It Felix. And he really wants to define his self-worth because he doesn't get any respect in his game. Because he's a villain. So he decides that he wants to become a hero and achieve a medal. In order to do this, he has to leave his own video game and go to another. And this affects his video game, Fix It Felix. But he also manages to find a medal. Unfortunately, the place he finds the medal at is a game called Hero's Duty, a kind of sci-fi military game. And while there, he accidentally gets hold of a virus latches onto him, and goes with him as he escapes into another game called Sugar Rush, where the film spends most of its time. And now Sugar Rush is like this kind of racing game, a cute racing game where everything's kind of candy orientated. There's all these cute little characters. So yeah, it's mainly focused on that. Now, if you're one of the many people that looked at the marketing and thought, oh, that's so cool, all these different video game characters in one movie, they're not exactly the focus. The focus is on the relation between Ralph and a character from the Sugar Rush game, Vanellope, who's a glitch, and she is desperate to become a racer. Now, this is brilliant, because not only is it fantastic to see this character so engaged and so obsessed with racing, this passion for racing, but we see her relationship with Ralph, and that is what drives the film. It's this wonderfully touching friendship between Vanellope and Ralph that goes on as he tries to help her become a racer, because they connect. They've both been outcasted. She's outcast because she's a glitch, and none of the players wanted to get involved. They don't want to risk breaking the game. They don't want to, give the impression that the game is breaking to the players either. So, that's the focus. And it's a wonderful focus for a movie. But I won't be surprised that some people might feel a bit disappointed, because it doesn't really focus on going through different kinds of games, and the little video game character cameos are very, very brief, but they have a purpose, they're there for a reason. I mean, they had the rights to use Mario, but they didn't because they couldn't find him a role. Okay? But the way that the video game universe works is so clever, really ingenious. The way that they connect all these different games, and the way that it all works, and the way that you can see the video game characters in the 8-bit, 16-bit kind of retro format, and then you can see them in their fleshed out form. Like, that's really awesome. And I mean, like, when you're inside of one of the games, you can see what's out there, you can see the human world, and like, oh, it's so clever, really clever how it all works together. You've really thought this through. Comedy-wise, it's not exactly like most kind of animated features you get from, say, Disney or any other kind of Hollywood effort. But when it does want to be funny, it's hilarious. And these are mainly puns. A lot of candy puns, a lot of video game kind of puns. But they work, and they're really well executed. And I think it's great that they rarely focus on jokes, because when they do focus on a joke, you can tell they've put a lot of time and effort into those little funny moments, instead of like constantly trying to really make the audience laugh, really like kind of thing. So yeah, but it's mainly a drama. Like I said before, it's the relationship between Vanellope and Ralph, and it's a really wonderful relationship that helps develop the characters and to kind of find and define their self-worth. Now, this is a film directed by Rich Moore, who is the director of Futurama and The Simpsons, and you can really tell that he has a skill for blending humour with drama, and it really reflects in the film. You can tell that it's got the same kind of feel as a sitcom, as a really good animated sitcom. It's got the same kind of feel, same kind of vibe. What else can I talk about? Well, it's very imaginative, funny when it needs to be. Really great focus on these characters. Now, these characters, they are brilliant. They are really great, memorable characters. I mean, Ralph, you do sympathise with him, because you can see how much crap he's gone through. But he's not saintly, he's not perfect, he's not super sweet, he's not the wonderful nice guy. He's a flawed person. He's bad-tempered, he's kind of a jerk. And you can see why, because he doesn't get the respect that he believes he deserves. And you kind of really connect to him when he starts to become good friends with Vanellope. You can see a softer side to him. Now, Vanellope herself, she could have been really annoying and really obnoxious. I mean, this like really cute, hyperactive, giddy little girl, that could have been really annoying. But she's not. She's really funny, really, really adorable, really, really sweet little character. And it's really wonderful to see her have this really strong interest in raising, like, her determination and relentless will is really inspiring to see. And I love when characters have this passion, any kind of defined passion. That really makes the characters interesting to me, when they have a really wonderful hobby to focus on, that drives them as a character, that gives them a reason to live. So yeah, Vanellope is great. We've got Fix-It Felix from the actual Fix Felix game. Now, I find him quite a likeable character. And here's why. I think it's because you can see that he's trying to wrestle with two kinds of things. He's trying to be sympathetic to Ralph. He's trying to take Ralph's feelings into account. But at the same time, he's trying to keep this respect that he's generated from the people within his game. And at the same time, he's got some funny moments. He's definitely got some funny moments, especially when he's sharing these moments with another character called Calhoun, who is a soldier from the Hero's Duty game. And Calhoun has to be one of the best animated film characters ever. She's absolutely brilliant. She's funny. She is intelligent. She's brave, confident, independent, strong. Really great character with this backstory that has some funny moments as well. And so Fix-It Felix and Calhoun do have this kind of blossoming romance going off, and it's really sweet. Because, like, Fix-It Felix is like this small, Calhoun is like this small. And her hyper-masculinity does make her really funny. It really does make her a really hilarious character, because she's so over the top in terms of her manliness, and like it really works. It's just so funny, and it's great to see a character like that. And she may be hypermasculine, but she's still sensitive. She's still got a good heart, and she has a backstory, like I mentioned before, that really helps you connect to her. So the characters are absolutely fantastic, really fantastic, great characters. Animation-wise, what are you expecting? It's Disney. It's Disney. They have some of the best working artists in the industry. They are some really fantastic character animation. Like it mixes the subtle movements with the wacky movements. It doesn't try too hard. It doesn't overact. It doesn't underact. It really is great Disney animation, and you can't expect less from them. I mean, there's the same talents and same efforts that they do for the hand-drawn films translates into the CGI films as well, I think. And the film also looks great. It looks really good. I mean, the rendering is astonishingly good. I mean, they've got a huge budget to work with, so obviously they're going to have some really wonderful rendering. I mean, a good example of like how good the rendering is would have to be the Sugar Rush game, because they make really good use out of the candy in the backgrounds for the racetracks, and like it's really clever how they've used all these kinds of confectionery to make a background, and the rendering for all this candy is so good that it looks edible. It looks so good, but I shouldn't have it because I've already had like a dozen fillings. No, so yeah, looks fantastic. Character designs are really unique, really good looking characters, and you can imagine them in their hand drawn format. You can imagine someone designing these. And that really makes them look distinctive, makes them look interesting, makes them look cartoony, which they should do, considering what kind of tone of film this is. I mean, I rarely find photorealistic looking animation to be it doesn't really like send a wow factor to me. Because it just makes me think that, like, well, why don't you just do this in live action? If you want to achieve this kind of look, then why not just do live action? I mean, the whole idea of animation is that you're doing something strange. You're distorting these characters. You're making them look unusual. And that's what this film does. It really gives the characters a really wonderful look. I mean, like, the characters for the Sugar Rush players, the racers, they look so good. Like, all these different looking kind of little designs that are based around making them look kind of sugary sweet and candy-esque, and like, oh, really great looking characters. I also forgot to mention there is a villain. He's a bit goofy. He's the king of the Sugar Rush game, King Candy. He's a bit goofy, a bit silly, but he's a bit fun. He's definitely fun. But I think his impact as a character is really defined when you find a twist about him, which I'm not going to spoil, but that's the thing that makes you go like, whoa, that's clever. So like, yeah, he's great. I mean, like, his voice is meant to sound a bit like the voice actor who provided the voice for the Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland. See, I'd like to talk about the voice acting, actually. Let's talk about the voice acting. You've got John C. Reilly as Ralph, and he is fantastic, because like, he manages to balance the aggressive nature of Ralph with the soft nature of Ralph. And he doesn't try to put on a silly voice. He puts on a performance. He acts. It's really great. He does a really good job. Sarah Silverman. Now, for me, Sarah Silverman is someone that I've only just recently started to appreciate and like. For a while, I wasn't that interested in her stand-up work or her comedy work or whatever. But then recently I realised that she is a funny woman, and she's really good. And that definitely glows in her voice performance. You can see her abilities as a comedian in this performance. And but at the same time, she manages to makes Vanellope sound funny when she's giddy, but she also really does a great job with the emotional scenes as well. Who else is there? Well, we've got Jack McBrayer for Fix-It Felix, and he really is like the essence of the character. Really adds some charm to him, makes him sound kind. I think that's the best word to define him. He is a kind character. He's selfless. Then we've got Jane Lynch as Calhoun. I don't watch Glee, but Jane Lynch is a fantastic actress. And I know she's often typecast as this kind of character lately. The kind of extremely masculine woman. But it works, and it works for Calhoun, and Jane's delivery is spot on. She's funny. She's really funny. It's great to hear two women that can sound funny in a movie together, Sarah Silverman and Jane Lynch. Because we're in a society where women's ability at comedy isn't that appreciated quite a lot, which is a shame because women can be funny. And the performances by Jane Lynch and Sarah Silverman define that, I believe. So yeah, that's the voice acting. Now, what about the music? Well, it's an orchestral score for the most part, and it's a great orchestral score. Really good. Manages to weave sensitive music with adrenaline pumping music, and it's just good. It's a really good, outstanding, I'd say an outstanding orchestral score going on. Now, the notable parts of the soundtrack would have to be, first of all, in the Hero's Duty game, there is some electronic music playing in the background. Now, this music's done by Skrillex. I'm well aware that a lot of people, including myself, are not fans of Skrillex. I know there are many fans out of Skrillex. He's not my thing. He really isn't my thing. But surprisingly, Skrillex does a really decent job of scoring this little scene, this military sci-fi game, this really action-packed scene going off, and like he has this really exciting, really thrilling music in the background. It's really great, and it proves that Skrillex can do something other than kind of music. It does prove that he can do something, and he can be a good composer. I think he should compose more songs, because the music that plays during the Hero's Duty game, it really gets you into the world of this game, and it really gets you pumped up. You hear this music going off, like, yeah, come on, oh, we're gonna kill some aliens. So yeah, that's the Skrillex effort. In the Sugar Rush game, there's a lot of kind of J-pop, K-pop sounding music going off, really cute sounding, really fits the game, really great sounding music that suits it, definitely suits the game. I'm not sure what else I can really talk about, if I'm honest. I know there's been mixed reviews, and I'm now kind of curious to find out why do some people not like it? Because then it's going to help me open my mind to realize maybe there's something I didn't notice, maybe there's something I didn't think about or take into consideration while watching the movie. So if anyone out there that did enjoy the film would like to comment below to say why they didn't enjoy it, I'd really appreciate it. I'd love to know what you got out of it. And the same to people that did enjoy it. I'd like to know, is there something that I haven't mentioned that appealed to you as an audience member? So yeah, this film is currently out in UK cinemas. I encourage you to go and watch it, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. Great visuals, great characters, great chemistry between Vanellope and Ralph, interesting soundtrack, stunning animation, really great, really a fantastic effort, I believe. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this vlog review. And I hope to make some more in the future. I might bring in some other people as well. So, see you guys.